Hey everyone, we got some great news for Lucid stock investors as the company reported quarterly production and delivery numbers that were better than expected. So I'll go through the numbers and I'll discuss what these numbers could mean for Lucid stock investors. So let's take a look.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
Alright, so Lucid reported that it produced 2,110 vehicles in the quarter that ended June 30th, and it delivered 2,394 vehicles during the same time. Now, one interesting thing to note here is that the company delivered more vehicles than it produced. And this is positive for its cash flow from operations, which I will discuss in a little bit more detail later. I just wanted you to keep that in mind for now. Also, this is an increase year over year, but it's also an increase from the previous quarter. You'll notice here in the previous quarter, Lucid produced 1,728 vehicles and delivered 1,967 vehicles. So from quarter to quarter, the company's deliveries increased by roughly 400 units. Now that's an impressive gain because the year-over-year gain was already solid at close to 40% in the first quarter. In the first quarter, when the company gave its quarterly financial results, it told investors that it was on track to produce approximately 9,000 vehicles for this year. Now, if you add this 1,728 number from Q1 with the number that it delivered or produced in Q2 at 2118, you'll notice it's up to close to 4,000 units for the first half of 2024. That means in order for the company to meet its target for 2024, it will need to produce roughly 5,000 units in the second half of the year, which will be about 25% more than it's produced so far in the first half of the year. And considering that its deliveries have been above its production in the first two quarters, that wouldn't be an unreasonable assumption to make, because right now it's delivering more than it's producing, so it's working down its inventories, and so in the second half of the year it can ramp up production because inventories will be lower now because they've produced less than they've sold. The good news here is demand is increasing for Lucid's products. That's the big thing for Lucid. About, I would say, 4 quarters ago, maybe a little more, maybe 6 quarters ago, Lucid, the business reversed from not having enough supply to not having enough demand. Management has said recently that it has more than enough supply capability to meet demand. The issue lately for Lucid has been to grow customer demand for its products. And that's why this latest quarter's results, where it increased deliveries up to 2,394, was such great news, because those deliveries are actual customers taking orders, sales to customers. That's great news. That's the one big thing that Lucid needed in 2024, is increased demand for its vehicles. Production had been set. Production has been solid in terms of increasing quantity, but now it needs more customer demand. Lucid stock investors cheered the news. As you can see, the developments boosted the share price all the way up close to $3.20 per share, and it has since normalized at around $3.03 per share. That's still above the $2.85 the stock was trading at before this news was announced. So the news was definitely positive from investor viewpoints, as they noticed an increase in demand for Lucid's products. Alright, so you'll recall in their latest quarterly financial update, their CFO talked about cost optimization, saying that they'll continue to make significant progress on their cost optimization programs. We're focused on significant growth as we enter the next transformational phase of Lucid end markets, while simultaneously driving cost discipline. And that's going to be important for Lucid because the company is losing significant sums of money on the bottom line. In its latest quarter, not the one that the company has yet to report on. The numbers that it provided here were just production and delivery numbers, so we didn't get the financial results for the most recent quarter. But the previous quarter, we did get production, delivery, and we also got the financial results. And the company delivered 172 million in revenue, and they lost 680 million on the bottom line. That's why it's critical for Lucid to control cost as it ramps up production so that it gives itself more time to get itself to more broad-based models. Remember, at the end of this year, Lucid is launching its SUV, the Gravity, priced at roughly $80,000, and that's going to be a competitive vehicle. Given all the things I've noticed from the market, SUVs are much more highly in demand than sedans, and so that's going to give Lucid a wider market opportunity, and it's going to be competitively priced compared to other electric SUVs out there, most notably the Rivian models. And so that could drive, I wouldn't be surprised if this SUV in 2025 increases Lucid's production and delivery numbers by nearly double, so long as they can ramp up production without difficulty. I think customer demand for its SUV is going to be strong. It's going to be stronger than demand for its sedans, given the lower price point, not lower price point compared to the sedans, but lower price point compared to other luxury SUVs on the market, like the Rivian, which are selling at closer to $100,000 for some models. So Lucid stock investors have that to look forward to. And finally, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I'll talk a little bit about inventory and how it's going to help its cash flow. So you'll notice here in the quarter that ended March 31st, the company had 565 million in inventory. And the way inventory works on your cash balance is you spend money to build inventory, and then that inventory sits on your balance sheet because you have those cars in your inventory, right? You spent cash to make those cars. So cash left your company, cars came into your company. So while the cars are in your hands, you don't have that cash. And then when you sell those cars to customers, cash comes back to your company. And if you're sending more cars to customers than you're producing, then you're working down your inventory balance and increasing your cash balance. And so that's what Lucid has been doing for the most recent 2 quarters, delivering more vehicles than it's producing, and that's having a positive impact on its cash. And that's good news for a company that's losing so much money on the bottom line. You want to be conservative in your cash usage. So overall, really good numbers from Lucid, a good step forward for this innovative electric vehicle company. Hopefully they continue progressing on that SUV and continue increasing sales and deliveries. Did you know that over 90% of the people that watch my channel are not subscribed? It'll really help support my channel if you hit that subscribe button. And oh, by the way, one of the benefits of being subscribed is that I take requests from subscribers more often than I do from non-subscribers. So if you prefer that benefit, please subscribe to the channel.